Anxiety, frustration, and a sense of duty. Those are some of the emotions being felt by healthcare workers on the front lines during the biggest health crisis of our time. Heather Yourex-West shows us how some are coping and their concerns looking forward.
Inside this Toronto hospital, healthcare workers are getting ready to face a challenge unlike anything they've ever seen.
The situation that we're seeing is unprecedented. I think for frontline physicians, there is an element of frustration in that we feel we know what needs to be done today to protect the public from the resource limitations that we foresee.
Dr. Michael Warner says government messages about social distancing haven't been strong or consistent enough. He feels more needs to be done.
Social distancing cannot be done in half measures. It has to be done by everybody. That means that, from my perspective, it's not okay to congregate in groups of less than 50.
In Alberta, Dr. Wendy Schlegel is more optimistic.
I think that we've seen over the last couple of days very aggressive measures taken by our government, and I feel quite reassured that most non-essential services have essentially been shut down.
This ICU physician believes the next 3 to 6 months will be incredibly challenging, but she says the public can help healthcare workers by staying calm.
I think a lot of the fears, again, I think people can be reassured by knowing that we are prepared to handle this pandemic, and panic will only impede our success in managing this.
Much of the health system's success will depend on what all Canadians do now. It's why some frontline workers have been taking their appeals to social media. This post by a nurse from Ontario has been shared more than 100,000 times. This is a matter of life and death, Ashley McIntosh Barton writes. Stop being selfish and think of everyone else who is already fighting for their lives.
This is what we trained for. This is why we chose this job.
Because whatever happens next, frontline workers are committed to help. They just need to know they're not in this fight alone. Heather Yourex-West, Global News, Calgary.
It's being called liquid gold. Stores are selling out of hand sanitizer as quickly as they can stock it. So some distilleries are seizing the opportunity to help by brewing up some of their own. Ross Lord reports on the Canadian companies pumping out a new product.
Dipping into the disinfectant market was a reluctant move for Nova Scotia's Ironworks distillery.
There's a lack of hand sanitizers on the shelves, which is not something one would ever have expected, but it became apparent that we had a product that would do the job.
They're using the same main ingredient, alcohol, just increasing the concentration to 65%, the recommended level for killing germs.
We've had people breaking down the doors on Instagram and Facebook and other social media channels already because they want it and they can't find it anywhere.
No one knows how long this makeshift arrangement will last, but here at Ironworks they hope it's short-term because that would mean the COVID crisis has eased.
Like many Canadians, Lynn McKay has an emotional connection. A close family member has been stuck in the United States. Flight plans for coming home have been complicated. Ironworks is paying extra excise tax just to get hundreds of these bottles out the door.
We're supplying some of the old folks' homes if they ask for it. Some of the shops in town who might have a need because they can't find anything.
Other distilleries are also helping out. This one in Halifax plans to give away its hand sanitizer as it sorts out kinks in the supply chain that make it tough to find additional bottles.
This was kind of like a curveball that sort of just started, within two days. We're just like, okay, we need to kind of jump on this and see what we can do.
Others are still sorting out distribution, confident demand for their new products is unlikely to fade anytime soon, doing their small part to counter a big problem. Ross Lord, Global News, Lunenburg, Nova Scotia.
We know you have lots of questions about this virus. Jeff will continue to consult with experts and try to answer them. So email your questions at globalnews.ca. On our website, you'll find a special page dedicated entirely to the new coronavirus. That's at globalnews.ca/coronavirus.